Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wait, What? Why? The podcast that ponders the origins of why we do the things that we do. Thank you for taking the time to join us today as we discuss the origins of the Christmas tree. I'm Nicole Gallagher, your host, and this is my husband,
Dennis Gallagher, the co-host.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Excellent.
Yes. This is going to be episode 6.
I think so. Is it 6, or are you including bonuses?
No, I'm not including
bonuses.
I think it's 6.
Up to 6.
Yeah.
And the downloads are picking up, too. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, don't forget to leave a review, share. It really helps our podcast if you could do that. So we will be forever thankful if you could take a moment to do that. So today, I don't know. Let's just talk a little bit about things.
Okay. Well, today, I don't know what you plan on talking about, but today's Veterans Day. Oddly enough, we're recording this on Veterans Day, so I'd like to say Happy Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans out there.
Yes. We're probably this won't be out until about the first or second week of December. So we're trying to be a little more relevant and not recording so far ahead, but we're still a little bit ahead, and took the opportunity today. We both had a day off to try to get some podcasting in. Hopefully we can get a couple of episodes done, and got some yard work done, and
very productive.
Luckily enough, our weather has been mild enough that we've been able to do that.
Yeah, we had frost and the leaves were wet, but
right.
Yeah, it hasn't really rained too much. We had very good weather this year.
And even though it is only Veterans Day, I'm still trying to convince my husband that it's best to put up the Christmas lights now while it's still warm.
Oh, I actually saw the weatherman.
And when it's freezing.
The weatherman had you back on the 6 o'clock news the other night. He said exactly the same thing. Get you. Not that I'm telling you to get your Christmas ornaments out, but take advantage of the good weather. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's how that goes. I mean, I'll put it off, and then it'll be a snowy day, and I'll be out there on the ladder in the front yard putting up lights.
Yep.
That's just how it goes.
And I'll say, I told you so.
Wouldn't be the holidays. Wouldn't be the holidays otherwise.
And I won't be able to help you because my fingers will freeze.
And then I'll be taking them down in a snowstorm as well. The beauty of the Northeast.
Yes. So today I would it was funny. I was trying to think of podcast to do for December, and of course there are 1,000 different things because I love Christmas so much.
You're a very festive person.
And I was very excited because driving down the road, our Commons area had the giant snowflakes up, which is new to our little city. And
they light them up, right?
They light them up, and that made me very happy, and it's getting me in the spirit. And I'm trying very hard not to listen to Christmas music yet, even though I keep getting notifications from Sirius that their holiday channels are now
Sirius pushing the
up
holiday
and
music
running,
up.
I love it so much. So I thought a great episode would be just the origins of a Christmas tree, because who doesn't love Christmas trees?
Right. Well, we certainly love Christmas trees.
We do.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of a debate this year. We've always gotten live Christmas trees.
Yep.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I didn't. As a kid, we always had fake Christmas trees.
I always had live Christmas trees.
But in our married life and with our children, we always made it a tradition to go to the Christmas tree farm and pick out a Christmas tree, or at least if we weren't sawing it down, we still went to the farm and got cider and
we cut down the majority of them.
Picked out a Christmas
tree. Yeah, we cut down the majority of the trees, I would say. We didn't pick too many off the rack. I've dragged my share of Christmas trees and children back up the bank in the sled.
And so now though, you want to get a fake one this year.
Well, they make some really nice fake trees, and I've seen some beautiful ones in recent years, and I mean they can be kind of costly, but there's something to be said for just kind of taking it out and setting it up. I mean, we're not dragging the kids to the farm anymore. Although we could invite them and they'd come from the 3 different states they're in and go with us if we did, because they're all festive just like you. But yeah, they make some real nice trees, and actually we would be looking forward to some feedback and some opinions that you guys may have on Christmas trees, because the debate is on. I could do without having the real Christmas tree and all the pine needles this year, but we'll see. I usually lose these battles. Like I said, you're very festive.
I clean the pine tree needles.
We have a robot vacuum.
which I love. That was the best Christmas gift ever.
Oh, yeah.
That was last year's Christmas gift, and the best one ever. It's the gift that keeps on giving every day, especially with our German Shepherd dog and all the fur he leaves around the house.
Yeah, Gryffindor doesn't like the German Shepherd doesn't like the robot, but we love it.
Yes. Every Harry Potter fans out there, we named it Creature
Yes.
because it's like our house elf.
And you put big googly eyes on it, and then our dog stomped his eyes, so he's now vacuuming the house with 2 black eyes. Two black googly eyes.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. It really is the best.
Yeah,
gift
no, that's
ever.
worth the money very much. If we could, pump anything, and I would say if you don't have one, get one. They can be kind of costly, but the thing that runs twice a day, right? We run at like 10:30 and 10:30, and wow, we're way off track here. But anyways, get a robot vacuum.
Well, if you're looking for the perfect Christmas gift for your significant other,
yeah. And it'll vacuum up the pine needles.
Yes. And it's called, what do we have? It's Robo Rock.
Robo Rock, I think, is something like that.
Yes, Robo Rock. It's not.
It's not the iRobot or whatever. It's a little different. Is
Roomba.
iRobot right?
Roomba.
iRobot was a movie, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, geez, Will Smith movie. I tell you, my wiring skips. The older I get, it just skips more and more. I apologize.
Perfect Christmas gift. For those of you who have pets and are tired of, look, I should be getting paid to do this. I'm going to stop now because, we're not sponsored by them, but it is a great gift.
Yeah. Well, they should sponsor us.
And if you'd like to sponsor us, I will gladly, I would gladly do that for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you know the people of Robo Rock, let them know.
Get a robot vacuum. They're awesome.
All right. So to start off our Christmas holiday season, typically a little, lead up into that. Typically, we go to my brother's for Thanksgiving, which we're also going to do this year. And our tradition starts on the way home, right? Would you agree with that?
We go to Christmas music pretty much 24/7, and then we start counting Christmas trees coming down the highway. And
we count Christmas, so that's kind of our tradition. As soon as we are traveling back up to New Hampshire, Christmas music goes on the radio, and it does not stop until after Christmas. And we count the number of trees we see on the top of cars on the way home, going through a few states.
I want to say we've had upwards of 30 just from Massachusetts to here.
30?
Yeah,
We've had like 115 one year.
I'm usually busy driving then, so.
Yeah, you're actually better.
115?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, 30.
That's a lot of Christmas trees.
30 just going from,
Again, I'm driving.
Pay attention.
I'm trying to drive.
But
actually,
anyway.
I saw Christmas trees at the Home Depot yesterday. I was there getting mulch, and they had, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe a dozen Christmas trees leaning up. And
real ones?
Real ones outside in the garden center
A
at
little
Home
early for
Depot
that.
yesterday. I know. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm there buying mulch, still throwing mulch on properties before the snow flies. And I looked over and I'm like, holy cow, Christmas trees. And they smelled great, I have to say.
I do love the
did.
smell of them.
It smelled tremendous.
I do, but I also love the smell of the balsam and cedar Yankee candle, which I burn all year too.
Which we would use if we had a fake Christmas tree.
I
Artificial Christmas tree.
I use even with our real Christmas tree because I love that scent.
Sprinkle it around liberally.
But I don't know. There's something to be said for having to bend the branches to make it look like a Christmas tree.
See, I've already lost this argument. It's basically I've already lost.
Live Christmas trees, though, are much more expensive than they used to be, too.
Yeah.
So I think we just talked about if we just bought one tree, it would last us, forever. And I don't know, maybe that's better for the environment.
It probably is, and the other part of the argument, at least for us, is we don't really need a huge Christmas tree anymore. I mean, we've had some magnificent trees, but you don't really need a huge tree anymore, and you can't find a good, Christmas tree that's a real one that's small. It's like they only cut them when they get to that certain kind of Christmas tree height, that 6 or whatever, and you can't really find a small one very often. So.
No, I like the tall, not skinny, but we don't really have a big space for a giant tree.
No, not anymore, really. No.
So I like the tall, kind of thinner ones, and they are very hard to find a real one like that. And they always look so much smaller when you're in the lot, and then you get them home, and they're huge. You're like, oh, this is a cute little tree, and then you put it up in your living room, and it's huge.
Well, lucky,
it's touching the ceiling.
Lucky for you, I am an expert at pruning the trees.
Should we go into
100% expert, right?
So, listening audience, one year.
Practice, folks.
A long, long, long time ago. It might have been one of our first or second years in our house with the kids. We had a huge Christmas tree. And Den says, oh, it's way too tall. I need to take it out and trim it. So that was a great idea, right? Except he took the top off the tree instead of trimming it from the bottom.
So that was a learning experience.
So we had a Christmas bush that year.
It looked a bit bushy, yes.
It was so
I chopped the
terrible.
top off the tree. It was like a $70 tree, too, you know,
does
and
that?
I like blast it. I don't know.
What makes
I
you
do that.
think?
I do that. That's who does that.
cut off the top of the
Jeez,
tree.
I'm crow.
So that is an ongoing...
Ruin one tree, they never let you forget it.
It's true. I don't. Every year it comes up, and now you got to enjoy the story.
Yes,
I'm
the
sharing
Christmas
it with the
bush.
world. Christmas
And
bush.
even if you guys aren't laughing, my kids are laughing right now because this is an every year thing that Den loses on the
That
Christmas
was
bush.
so funny.
Yeah, live and learn.
All right. So, wow, we've done a lot of talking. Should we get into
sorry
it?
about
Also,
that. Too much talk?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure they love to hear this, right? The Christmas bush. They will forever tell everyone.
Yeah, Den ruined a Christmas tree.
That might be their sound clip. Or maybe the name of this episode, The Christmas Bush.
My husband ruined the Christmas tree. Whoops.
So anyway, getting into the origins of the Christmas tree, I really thought it was going to be a much more simple kind of history than it was.
Yeah, you said there was a ton of information, right?
Yeah. So did you have don't look at my notes. Did you have a country of origin that you would think that it came from?
A country of origin, that's a good question. Why do I want to say like something Nordic, like a Northern Europe kind of thing? Am
That's
I
pretty
close?
good.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think yes. Nordic is one of the histories I will go into, but I thought Germany. I thought it was a pretty simple. I don't know why, but I was like, I'm pretty sure it started in Germany, and then I didn't really know how it came to be popular in America, so that's kind of why I was going to go into doing this. But it goes way, way back, even before then. So even before like the Nordic, like Vikings.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Who knew?
Oh, this is a very old tradition then.
Well, kind of. I don't even know where to start.
Start at the beginning, my
I
love.
will start at the beginning. So, in my research, it goes back to about 3,500 BC.
Okay,
or
so fast
BCE.
forward then. Wow. Holy cow.
But this was when and I think this comes up when we talk about the origins of a lot of things. It comes back to like the pagan times, or when people worshipped the elements of nature. So if we go way, way back in the Northern Hemisphere, it goes back to the winter solstice.
Okay.
Right. So winter solstice usually falls on the 21st or 22nd of December, and it's the shortest day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And many people in the ancient times worshipped things in nature, like the sun god and the rain god and the whatever else
Yeah, water.
there was,
I'm
or
sure,
the god of agriculture, things like that.
Yep.
So many people believe that winter came because the sun god was getting weak and sick.
Oh,
And so
tired.
then, yeah, just,
We're tired.
Just-
It comes up every day. I mean, no days off for the sun, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, I'd be tired.
So the celebrations that took place around the winter solstice was because after that, the days would start getting longer and the sun would start getting stronger and things like that. So plants were usually a part of that celebration, specifically the evergreen, because, it's evergreen and shows like eternal life.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes way back when. And then we have the ancient Egyptians, which I found, and it didn't surprise me. I was surprised at first.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really seem like they have fir trees in Egypt, but I don't know.
I know. They had, palms,
Okay.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're polytheistic, right? So they had many gods that they worshipped, and one of them was Ra. And Ra is depicted as having like a hawk's head, and it's wearing a crown that has like a blazing sun on it. And according to EgyptianMuseum.org, quote, he was the king of all deities and father of all creation. He was the patron of the sun, heaven, kingship, power, and light. He could also be the physical sun itself as well as the day. So maybe you're right.
About
getting tired. Getting up every day and having to make the
Imagine that, right? No days off. Like Bill Belichick even takes a day off here and there, right?
So the Egyptians celebrated the winter solstice for 12 days, beginning on the 21st, and they would have a special celebration for the rebirth of Ra, or the rebirth of the sun, on the 25th of December, as this would be around the day the sun would fully rise again. So weird little coincidence that it's December 25th.
That is weird.
Yeah. You'll see little connections like that as we go through. So they would fill their homes with palms and also evergreens, symbolizing the triumph of life over death as Ra became stronger and the days became longer. And decorating like this was also, meant to ensure like a prosperous upcoming year for crops and things like that.
Yep. Positive start, basically, to the new
Yeah,
year.
like a fresh start.
Yep.
So yeah, ancient Egyptians, that kind of threw me. And then, of course, we go then to the Romans.
Romans had their hands in everything.
Yeah, they did.
They
and
did.
Also they had to celebrate, and like the Romans, they get down and dirty. The Romans, around 753 BCE, also had a special celebration for the winter solstice called a Saturnalia, which honored Saturn. Let me say that again. Saturn.
With an R.
It's my Massachusetts accent coming out.
Bostonian accent.
For Thanksgiving, and then they worship Saturn. They honored Saturn, the god of sowing or seed. He taught people the agriculture and arts. And Saturnalia was their festival, which began on December 17th. And it first started as a farming celebration. The sun meant good crops and growth for the upcoming season. And over time, this is what I was saying, like as with the Romans normally do, this ended up becoming a week-long festival because, as we know, the Romans like to party.
They did. They used to drag it out.
Yes.
Yep.
So for Saturnalia, I can't say it.
Yeah, no, that's you got some sort
Saturnalia.
of block on that.
You say it.
Saturnalia?
Saturnalia.
Maybe. You tell me not to look at the screen, so I can't read it, so I'm just saying it phonetically.
I'll show you.
All right. It is Saturnalia.
Saturnalia?
Is that really important?
I
feel like it always gets back to, teasing me.
I'm trying to pronounce it. All right.
You did fine.
Anyway, Saturnalia.
No, that's way wrong.
I believe it's Saturnalia.
No one knows that word, my love. No one knows it.
All right.
You're breaking new ground.
For Saturnalia, I'm just going to say it now. It just sounds good.
She made that word up.
Everything was closed. So a week-long festival. Everything's closed. There's music. There's feasts. There's parties. And they would decorate everything. And their decorations would include wreaths. And they would even decorate trees outside of their homes. And like the Egyptians, they believed that evergreens represented eternal life. Sorry. And they also gave gifts.
Really?
And the gift giving would usually be candles, because the candles would represent the light or the sun.
Interesting.
So we have another connection to December, right? Celebration of life. Decorating with evergreens.
Looking forward to a new year with the crops and things like that, right?
And gift giving.
Yep. Okay. Gift giving, yeah. So that's really kind of the beginning of that now.
Yes. And then we have the Vikings, like you had said, like the Nordic people. So this was around 793 BCE or CE. Sorry, AD or CE. People don't say AD anymore. So.
What does CE stand for?
So BC would be before Christ, and AD
I know what those
would be
mean. That's why I'm asking about CE.
Anno Domini. And BCE was before the current era.
Okay.
And CE is current era.
That is interesting. I learned something
and
right there.
And that's for, because everything was based off religion before,
Yep.
and now it shouldn't be, or at least the Christian religion, it shouldn't be based off of just that when you're talking about time.
Right.
Or timeline, so now it's CE. So I'm always used to BC and AD,
well, that's how we were raised,
I'm throwing
right?
myself off when I do that. But
cool.
So the Vikings were 793 CE, so we're moving a little closer towards us. Scandinavians and Germanic people, which were Sweden, Denmark, Germany, they had a Yule festival, which would later be called a Yuletide festival, which we know of.
We've heard of that, and a Yule log, right?
Yes,
yep.
And that came from this too. So this festival started on December 25th and lasted 12 days.
Man, we got to spread our holiday out more.
Well, and that's another thing that keeps coming up, 12, right? Isn't it the 12 days of Christmas?
It is the 12 days of Christmas.
So we have the 12 days earlier with the...
Yeah, with the Romans, with the Saturnalia.
No, the Egyptians
Oh, my bad.
celebrated for 12 days, beginning on the 21st.
Okay.
Saturnalia was like
Week long, you
a
said.
week long. And then we have the Vikings, which started on December 25th and lasted 12 days.
Party like a Viking.
Yes.
Right?
I never heard that one.
You never heard that?
Party like a Viking?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You just make this up.
I did not. All right, so we would like some comments. If anyone else has heard that, feel
like a
free to
Viking.
email or, let us know. Party like a Viking.
My husband makes things up
I
all
don't
the time.
think I do.
I think you do.
Party like a Viking with a Yule log.
Well,
No.
that is going to be the name of this party like a Viking with a Yule log.
Maybe.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know.
All right. So, anyway, the festivity.
You're all flustered now.
I am. I think that's funny.
Do you need a minute? Should we go to commercial?
I'm going to take a minute.
Should we go to commercial?
I would love to have a sponsor so we could actually go to commercial.
Right, there you go.
The festivities of Yule celebrated many gods, again polytheistic, but most significantly Odin, one of whose names was, and I'm not going to, it was like Jolnir, Jolnir. I know I'm probably butchering that, but
Okay.
That is believed to be a connection to the more modern word Jol, I think for jolly or Yule.
Oh, wow, jeez.
So I don't know.
Look at you tying it all together.
I'm now making stuff up. I just feel like it's not right. Jol.
So about, 65 seconds ago you give me crap for making stuff up, and then you just said I'm making stuff
trying to
up.
make a connection between it. But anyway, moving on. Some sources say that Odin would fly, and listen to this, would fly across the sky on his 8-legged horse, Sleipnir,
I'm with you.
delivering gifts to children.
You're kidding me.
And boots would be left by the fireplace so gifts could be placed in them.
So it all makes sense except for the 8-legged horse.
Well, yes.
Well, I mean, what is that? It was probably a picture of like two horses standing next to each other with the legs staggered, and then it just, they ran with it.
Yeah. No, he did. In
Horses don't have 8 legs. That's crazy. That's a spider horse. So a spider horse carrying a Viking delivers gifts.
All right. So this is the polytheistic religion.
Okay.
So this is like the myth behind this god
Okay.
of Odin.
Got it.
This was his horse.
Yep, that's bizarre.
A spider horse.
He worshipped weird things.
No offense.
The
to
spider
any-
horse. Anyone of Nordic descent. All right. I'm sure you don't worship spider horses. My bad.
But
But if you do, that's cool.
who are we?
Who are we?
Who are we to say?
You know? My horses have 4 legs. Yours had 8. I get it.
You're not even a fan of any horse.
I don't like horses whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nothing equine.
No,
Nope.
scary.
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
I don't like them.
I know. But, all right. So where were we? Boots would be left. All right. So then, according to a website called allthingsinteresting.com. Do you like that?
It's a great website.
I know.
Who doesn't like that?
Allthingsinteresting.com.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So to ancient Vikings and Goths, the period prior to Yule was a time of heightened supernatural activity. And undead creatures called Draugr, Draugr, wandered the earth. Magic was more potent, and Odin himself lay a ghostly wild hunt across the night sky. That is Gryffindor, if you can hear him in the
Yeah,
background.
that's our dog.
Sorry about that.
He's protecting the house.
So there was something like before Yule would be a time of like all this supernatural activity. And so the ancient Europeans would light bonfires to ward off the darkness and to celebrate the return of the sun, again, having to do with winter solstice.
Yep.
And this particular ritual gradually evolved into the Yule log. There you go.
Right.
A specially selected tree that was burned to ensure warmth throughout the longest night of the year.
A huge log, I'm sure, then, right?
Yeah, so that's where the Yule log came from. And I didn't know that because I'm going to sound really stupid right
I
now.
didn't know that
but
either.
every time I've seen a Yule log, it's been dessert. It's been like a dessert.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they almost like the rolled
Yeah.
chocolate and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yep.
like a what were those?
Swiss roll?
Yeah, like Swiss roll.
Yeah, the Swiss roll.
That's totally different. But yeah, Swiss roll. But that's what the Yule log was. I never knew it was an actual log that they would burn on winter solstice because it was the longest night of the year.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I mean, the Vikings were trendsetters.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So, like the other Egyptians and Romans, the evergreen trees were mounted and throughout their homes, and they would decorate their trees with pieces of food, runes, statues, and strips of cloth. So the Norse people believed that the evergreens had magical properties that would protect them, and they would also hang things such as evergreen boughs, mistletoe, and holly.
So this is kind of some of the beginnings of decorating the tree.
Yeah, in your house with that. And so, but in Nordic times, they hung them around the windows and doors, and it was to protect the house from the supernatural activity that was happening. So it was like almost like a charm to protect your house kind of thing.
Huh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But it looks lovely.
Definitely noticing some threads. You know, the threads of how we know it now are bits and pieces of some of these different civilizations. No kidding.
Literally could have probably an entire podcast just on like the Egyptians, history behind this, or a separate one on the Romans, separate one on the Vikings.
But we're going to roll it all together for entertainment purposes.
Well, we just kind of summed it up real quick,
right.
But those were the most easy to understand. After that, it gets a little sporadic, like a little hard to decipher exactly how it became part of American culture.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah, I'll get into that. So Germany, that's where I thought it originated.
Yep.
So you beat me. You got with the Nordics.
Sure. I'm impressive.
So evergreen trees became part of Christianity in Germany. So they were originally called paradise trees because they represented the Garden of Eden, and they would be decorated with apples. And December 24th was considered the feast day of Adam and Eve. It was said later that Martin Luther, who was a German theologist and religious reformer, was the first person to bring a Christmas tree into a house in the way we know it today. I'm quoting, by the way. This is quote. It may have been the 16th century German preacher Martin Luther. A story is told that one night before Christmas, he was walking through the forest and looked up to see the stars shining through the tree branches. It was so beautiful that he went home and told his children that it reminded him of Jesus, who left the stars of heaven to come to earth at Christmas. So he brought a tree into his house and decorated it with candles to represent the stars.
Cool.
Also, I guess later on then in the 19th century, like I said, it's kind of spotty here. In the 19th century, paradise trees became known as Christmas trees. German immigrants brought this tradition to many other countries, including America.
Thank you, Germans.
However, when Christmas trees, so this is way before the 19th century, like the Puritans were here. They saw Christmas trees as pagan symbols and did not welcome it at all. From history.com, I have a quote that I thought was kind of a neat little twist, because we all know that in the Puritan days, we had the witchcraft trials and some other things that were happening. So this was probably just as, not as bad because they weren't killing people. But to the New England Puritans, according to history.com, Christmas was sacred. The Pilgrims' second governor, William Bradford, wrote that he had tried hard to stamp out pagan mockery of the observance, penalizing any frivolity. The influential Oliver Cromwell preached against the heathen traditions of Christmas carols, decorated trees, and any joyful expression that desecrated the sacred event. In 1659, the General Court of Massachusetts enacted a law making any observance of December 25th, other than a church service, a penal offense.
Wow.
People were fined for hanging decorations. That stern solemnity continued until the 19th century, when the influx of German and Irish immigrants undermined the Puritan legacy.
Puritans doesn't sound like a lot of fun at all, did they?
They weren't. No, they were very, very strict. Like, you're making fun of they saw it as making fun of Christianity.
Interesting.
And mocking everything. It was like a solemn time of prayer. It wasn't to be celebrated in that way.
Yeah.
So, again, the Germans or immigrants coming to America, bringing all their traditions with them. So it was like this influx of immigrants that basically killed the Puritan legacy of
Well, they
you can't
bring their
celebrate.
traditions with them. Yeah, they bring their own traditions with them. Makes
Yep.
sense.
So over time, the Christmas tree and other Christmas traditions became more popular. And according to multiple sources, the first Christmas tree so I'm going to the UK. So that's what I mean. I feel like I'm jumping around a lot. But this little report about what happened in the UK is said to be, from multiple sources, the main reason why Christmas trees became very popular in America.
Okay.
All right, so bear with me. So the first Christmas tree in the UK was probably set up by Queen Charlotte, the German wife of King George III. Queen Charlotte died in 1818, and by then having a Christmas tree was a tradition that was popular among much of the upper class. They became very popular throughout the country in the mid-1840s, when reports of the royal tree were printed in newspapers. In 1848, a drawing of the Queen's Christmas tree at Windsor Castle was published in the Illustrated London News. It showed Queen Victoria, her German husband, Prince Albert, and their young children around a tree which was set up on a table. The drawing was then republished in Godey's Lady's Book, which is an American magazine, like women's magazine,
Okay.
in Philadelphia in December of 1850. But when they replicated this picture, they altered it by removing the Queen's crown and Prince Albert's mustache to make it look like it was a more American type of picture. And it's believed that this is the publication of this drawing is what helped Christmas trees become very popular in the United States.
Also the beginning of Photoshop. Right?
Who knew?
Oddly.
Who knew?
Oddly. The
That
beginning
is-
of Photoshop as well.
That is a valid point.
Didn't know Photoshop was
Fair
going to
point.
figure into the
Well,
Christmas tree.
it was a drawing,
Oh,
but still,
yeah.
yeah,
Basically Photoshop.
yeah.
Sure.
They're altering it.
They couldn't come up with their own picture. You just had to doctor that one.
Well, the Queen and King are very,
I'm pretty
everyone
sure
loves-
they probably
everyone
didn't like.
loves royalty.
Yeah, she probably didn't like having her crown erased from the drawing and his mustache. She probably liked his mustache.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, Photoshop. Just saying.
So what was that? What did I say? Like 1850?
Yeah.
So by the 1870s, Christmas tree traditions could be found all over the world. And by this time, Americans were fully on board. So that is like that really choppy, like again, I feel like the ancient history behind how evergreens became popular and the winter solstice and the celebrations around that. But then as we got closer to like, the 1900s, it was like, well, the Germans and the Irish brought it over, and then they showed a picture of the Queen, so boom.
Right. There you go.
Now we do it.
Now we do it. Thank goodness they erased that guy's mustache.
I know. So I do have a couple, I have a couple of myths, and I have a couple of fun facts.
Fun facts are awesome.
If I can. All right. Do you see this? I think my keyboard is haunted.
That's another episode, honey.
I know. All right. Let me see. I guess I'll just share one myth because I thought it was interesting. There was a version of Saint Boniface, who it was believed that in the 8th century he thwarted a pagan human sacrifice under an oak tree by cutting down the tree, and a new tree grew in its place with its branches representing Christ's eternal truth. And then some say that after he cut down the tree, he hung it upside down, which is believed to have led to the tradition of trees being hung upside down to represent the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, that's kind of a new thing too, right? Folks do that nowadays.
I feel like it became a thing, like I first heard about it like 4 or 5 years ago, but I didn't know. Well,
Why?
I thought
No,
it was.
I
I
didn't
thought it
really-
was silly.
I kind of did too.
I was like, why would you hang a Christmas tree upside down? I didn't have any idea that it had to do with the Holy Trinity.
God, what would you do? You like drive an eye hook up through the ceiling and find a floor joist, and then like, how do you anchor it?
How do you water it?
How do you water? Yeah, it's a great question. How do you water it? All right, so email, comment, let us know how you water an upside down
Does
Christmas
anyone
tree.
out there actually hang their Christmas tree upside down.
You put like sponges on top of it or something?
And
That's
if
weird.
you do, how do you water it?
Right.
Why do you do it?
And how do you put gifts under it? You put gifts like on the floor under it? No, I'm thrown.
I know. I can't even picture.
Jeez.
I can't even send in pictures.
Yeah.
I want some pictures.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That's kooky.
Bizarre. Kooky.
Kooky.
Wacky.
Kooky's a good word.
Kooky is. I also like the word wonky, which is not relatable to this, but I really like to say the word
wonky is
wonky.
a good word. You can say it. It's your show, damn it. You can say wonky if you want.
All right. I have a really fun fact for you. You ready?
I am.
Okay. In the 1930s, a toilet bowl brush manufacturer used his surplus to make an artificial tree, the first artificial tree.
Was made out of toilet bowl brushes?
Bristles.
Bristles?
Yes.
Oh. He reused them?
No,
Oh, that's nasty.
he used his surplus.
Oh, okay.
You know what surplus means.
Yeah, surplus is extra. I get
Yes.
it. It means it didn't have the feces on it, hopefully. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which then later became aluminum and now is made out of plastic. But that was a fun fact.
I don't want a tree made out of toilet bowl bristles. We're getting a real tree. It's
There
decided.
you go. Oh, I knew it. I knew I would get you to
One
see
podcast to convince me. That's it.
According to History.com, in the United States, 85% of Christmas trees displayed by households are artificial.
85%.
Yeah. It says well, it doesn't give a percentage, but it would say while $26.2 million are real or natural. So whatever that, I would guess that would be the 15%, the other 15%.
Wow.
Let's see.
So we're in the minority with the real Christmas tree. I never would have thought that. It seems like Christmas trees are sold everywhere. How can that be?
I don't know.
Jeez, that's
And
crazy.
I wonder how wasteful it is. Like, what happens with all those trees that aren't bought?
Yeah.
That was another fun fact. Do I have that? One of the, unintended consequences when the Germans, brought this tradition, it became really popular in America. I think I got rid of this, but I remember reading it that deforestation was becoming a real concern because of everyone starting to chop down trees and bring them into their homes for Christmas.
No kidding.
So now we have Christmas tree farms, so that doesn't happen. But I wonder what happens to all those trees that they cut down and bring to the, stores.
I don't know. I mean, can you even compost pine needles and stuff like that? I don't even know what you
could compost them,
maybe.
I guess.
Maybe.
Let's see. Christmas
Make
trees
mulch.
have been sold commercially in the United States since about 1850, which was exactly when that photo was released, or that
Photoshop photo.
artist rendition of the Queen. Yes. Another fun fact: in 1979, the national Christmas tree was not lighted except for the top ornament, and this was done in honor of the American hostages in Iran.
I remember that.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I was too young.
Nope.
I don't recall.
I recall vividly, actually. I mean, I guess I was 10, as much as you can recall as 10-year-old, but I absolutely remember that.
Huh.
Yep. Of course, I think I have my timetable is twisted. If I look back at the facts and the actual timetable, I don't really remember it that way. I think I was influenced by my parents at the time and their political beliefs.
Right.
Because Jimmy Carter was in office,
Yes.
right? He was a Democratic president. Again, I could be wrong, but I believe that's the timetable. And I don't think Jimmy Carter was getting anywhere with the negotiations. And then Ronald Reagan was elected, and magically they were released. And again, I'm probably all wrong on that, but that's how I remember it. It was like we elected a new president, and they were like, okay. Well, because Ronnie was,
Right.
he had a loose trigger finger. And so Ron Reagan changed things. I could be way wrong on that. But I don't do the research for this show. I'm just the on-air talent.
Talent, yes.
Yes, on-air
you
talent.
are very talented.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
So
Let's
I
see
apologize
what
if
other...
that's where I was wrong. That's how I remember it.
Memories are skewed. You were 10, so
Yeah.
we won't hold you to that factual.
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Another fun fact, I thought this was kind of neat. Between 1887 and 1933, which is a long time, there was a fishing schooner called the Christmas Ship, which would tie up at the Clark Street Bridge and sell spruce trees from Michigan to Chicagoans.
Wow.
That's fun.
It is fun.
The tallest living Christmas tree is believed to be the 122-foot, 91-year-old Douglas fir in the town of Woodinville, Washington.
That is a big tree.
Shout out to Woodinville, Washington.
Woodinville, Washington.
The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree tradition began in 1933.
Yep, that's a big deal.
And then the Franklin Pierce, the 14th president, was the first one to bring the Christmas tree tradition into the White House.
Cool.
In 1923.
He was from New Hampshire, wasn't he?
Franklin Pierce? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's our only president from New Hampshire.
I think you may be right.
I believe I am. Shout out Franklin Pierce, New Hampshire.
In 1923, President Calvin Coolidge started the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony, which is now held every year on the White House lawn.
Cool.
Let me see. I had some good ones. Where are they? Not that those weren't good, but since 1966, the National Christmas Tree Association has given a Christmas tree to the president and the first family every year. In 1912, the first community Christmas tree in the United States was erected in New York City. Let me see. Now, I thought this was neat. Christmas trees are grown in all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska.
Wow.
For the purpose of being a Christmas tree.
It just shows you how resilient, although it's probably a different type of pine tree, but it just shows you how resilient they are. They're growing in all those different climates, huh?
Right.
That's crazy.
Which, again, that makes sense if we go back to the history, seeing them and because they talk about evergreens in Egypt, which, they talk about palms, but they also talk about evergreens. So.
No kidding.
Oh, Thomas Edison's assistants came up with the idea of electric lights for Christmas trees.
Not a big surprise, really, if you take a step back on that one.
Ooh, this was a fun one. All right, so Teddy Roosevelt is my most favorite president.
Yep, love Teddy.
He banned the Christmas tree from the White House for environmental reasons. He didn't like the idea of cutting down trees.
And I like Teddy Roosevelt, and he did some wonderful things, but he banned Christmas trees and then went out and shot lions. Right. Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
I know he was a big hunter, but environmentalist.
Very weird,
he started the national parks, too,
no,
right?
absolutely, which we enjoy very much.
So he was a conservationist as far as the environment goes. But he was a conservationist because he liked to live off the land.
Oh, I get it.
Right?
I get
For hunting and stuff.
And he shot lions.
Yeah, he did.
Not cool.
In 1963, the national Christmas tree was not lit until December 22nd because of a national 30-day period of mourning following the assassination of President Kennedy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know either.
What did they say? It was a national what of mourning?
30-day period of mourning.
30-day period of mourning. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the first week, a tree in your home will consume as much as a quart of water per day.
I believe that.
I believe that too, which again, how do you hang a tree upside down?
Yeah, I don't know. When you think about it, the trees dry all the time when you first bring it in.
They must be fake trees that they hang upside down.
Yeah, they're probably fake trees. Artificial trees, not fake. Artificial.
What's the difference?
That's a much softer, kinder term. They're not trying to impersonate a real tree. They're what they are. They're artificial trees.
Artificial.
So you just don't like them, so you call them fake.
They're not real.
But you're right. There's no way you hang a live tree from the ceiling.
No,
maybe,
they have
but
to be.
geez.
They have to be artificial trees.
Yes, see, you're on board. I love it.
All right, last fun fact. Tinsel was once banned by the government because it contained lead.
And because cats eat it.
Now it's made of plastic, and still cats eat it.
Cats eat it.
If you have pets,
no tinsel.
PSA, you should not have tinsel in your house if you have cats
Tears
or
up their
dogs
stomachs,
because that is not good.
Nope.
Not good. All right, that's all I have.
Now that was quite a bit, and I learned a lot.
I still feel like I need a better explanation of how it became very popular in America, other than that one artist rendition.
No, I think the immigration
but
really,
I do too, yeah.
I mean, that was a time of tremendous, immigration to the United States, Ellis Island and all that stuff. And,
right.
If the Puritans put a kibosh on it, for however many years, yeah, I'm sure immigrants, once they had enough population, were like, we're doing what we want to do. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And that would have taken some time, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But very interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I liked it. I love Christmas trees. I think we're going to get a real tree this year.
Yeah.
But
and I won't chop the top off it.
The Christmas bush.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, so today we learned a little bit about the history behind the Christmas tree.
It was fun.
Fun facts about it. Yeah, so I think that's it, yeah.
And again, we'd love any feedback about the different traditions you guys have, or if you can square us away on how you hang a live Christmas tree from your ceiling.
Or if that
is
a
such
thing.
a thing, or
yeah.
if they're just all artificial.
Or even if that's still happening. I don't know. I don't know anyone that does it personally.
And, of course, party like a Viking, right?
Party like a Viking,
no doubt about
with a Yule log.
Yep. They didn't just have Christmas. They did 12 days of Christmas.
12 days of Christmas. That actually might be my next episode. I don't know. We'll see. So
yeah, don't give anything away.
Well,
We'll delete
there's
that.
so many different topics to talk about
are
at
a
Christmas. It's a wonderful time of year. Even if you're not religious, I just love that feeling. I get like this warm, fuzzy feeling that takes over my whole body, and it just I love to give presents.
Yes, and that cost me a lot of money.
Oh, please, you.
Well, just saying.
You are not the only one who makes money, sir.
Oh, different conversation. I would give less gifts. Let's just put it that way.
I spend all of my money, but I like to give
Great
presents.
gift giver, yes.
So anyway, that being said, I think we're gonna
I'm gonna wrap this one up.
wrap it up.
Is
Just
that
like a
just
present.
like a present? Look at that. Wrap
Nice,
it up like
I
a present.
love
Put a bow on it. Go ahead, baby. Put a bow on it.
All right. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us today. Please reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Let us know your Christmas or holiday traditions. The quirkier, the better. We'd love to hear about it. We would also love to have a holiday bonus episode with some of our listener stories. So please reach out to us and let us know some of the cool things that you do. And as always, you can email us at waitwhatwhypod@gmail.com. I'll say it again because I just paused, didn't I? waitwhatwhypod@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a big thank you to Francis for our podcast
Absolutely.
artwork.
Thank you, Francis.
Please check out our website. We have multiple links. We're now on multiple social media platforms and on YouTube. So please just share.
Yeah.
Share, like, leave a review,
Yeah,
share
if
your
you enjoy
stories
it,
with us.
if you enjoy listening to us, we appreciate that very much, and share with your friends. Absolutely.
All right, so we'll see you next time.
Cool. See you next time. Thank you.